Hey yo, welcome back again to Believers Records, the show where we drop heat every 4 times of the week, the place where magic begins. So this video here today is for the beginners, the newbies. So I'm assuming that you actually want to get into music like that. This is for someone who actually wants to get into music like that. You actually, you're passionate about music, and you want to take it, a little bit further. So yeah, sit back because I'm about to make FL Studio a whole lot easier for you. So before we actually get into that, I got to give you that daily reminder. If you're new here, kindly subscribe to the channel. It surely does help us a lot. And be sure to hit that notification bell so you can get notified every time I drop you some heat. And also, if you like this video, you can go ahead and give it a thumbs up. So yeah, man. So yeah, this for the newbie. So there's a lot of DAWs out there. There's a lot of DAWs. So there's Cubase, there's Logic, there's Ableton, and I'm assuming by the fact that you're actually here in FL Studio, that means that you wanna further yourself as a producer. You wanna get better, using FL Studio, using this DAW. So yeah, man, you came to the right place. So I'm about to make everything a whole lot easier for you. So without no further ado, let's go ahead and get started with it. So I'm gonna start you off first with this with the channel rack. So the channel rack, to explain this in the simplest way ever, this is where you load your instruments and your drums. So let's say you have your plugins, you have your plugins installed. I'm just assuming that you actually installed it. So this is where you add it. So you see this plus here, you just add here. So you just click here, and you come here, you add your instruments. So there's a lot of instruments here. As you can see, I have a couple. So you just come here and choose, man. It's easy peasy. You just come here and choose. So let's say you want to just let me just demonstrate. So let's say you actually want to choose morphine. So you just come in here, you choose morphine. That's it. So yeah, that's it, man. So it's easy, right? So just come here. Yeah, you add. So let's say you want to add another. So let's say like purity. It's for the sake of the video. So let me just go ahead and load that up. Yeah. So you see, it's easy, man. So yeah. So up here we have a swing. So yeah, we have a swing. So you can actually swing this thing. So I never usually pass 10. So I never usually pass 10 for me. Maybe you actually want to pass 10, but I never pass 10. So this swing is actually better, especially when it comes to when you're working with genres like reggaeton, dance music and all that. So it's actually you want to incorporate that with the swing here. It's going to help you a lot. So yeah. So next here we have also here and sorted and all. So let's say you have something that you actually dragged into FL Studio as a waveform. So it might not show sometimes. So you just come here, just press this all, and it brings everything. Easy peasy, right? So yeah. So next we have the we have the channel. We have the mixer. Sorry for that. We have the mixer. So this is self-explanatory. Everybody knows what a mixer is. So if you're trying to get into music production, you ought to know what a mixer is. So this is where you do your mixing. So this is where you put your instruments from the channel rack. So from the channel rack, after gain staging, so you route everything to the mixer. So I actually forgot to show you guys. So see these empty boxes here. This is where you route your shit to the mixer. So let's say this clap here. You want to take it to the mixer. So you just put it in 1. So let's go ahead and solo that. So you see 1 came to 1, right? Yeah. Yeah, that's easy, right? So yeah. So just do the same for everything here. And then in the mixer here, there's a lot of things in here. So here you can actually you can right click here and just solo one channel. So let's say you want to listen to this, maybe when you're mixing, you just want to listen to this in particular. So you just come here, you solo that using the you right click that on your mouse or on your laptop, whatever that you're using. So you right click on that and it's gonna solo that. It's gonna solo that instrument. So then these faders here is where you balance the volume of that instrument. So you just come here, just balance it. Then down here we have the place where you can actually do stereo separation. So this side is mono, this is mono, and this is stereo. All right. Okay. So yeah. So this is the mixer part. Then you can actually master here. This is a master. So that's where you put your instruments. So even the mixer here is still the same place where you put your instruments. So let's say you want to load up a compressor. What's a compressor? So you want to load up the compressor there. So you just load it up right there. Yeah, that's it. So and let's say you wanna solo this compressor. So maybe you don't want the other plugins to affect this instrument. You just want to listen to that particular plugin and listen and just hear what it's doing to the what it's actually doing to the instruments that you have there. So you just solo that the same way I taught you. You just right click that. Sorry for that. You just right click. I don't know what's happening. Or you can just solo here. Doesn't matter. You can just come here and solo. See? Easy. All right. So let's say you actually want to. So how am I going to say this? Let's say you actually want to have a send. But we don't really, they don't really do sends anymore. No one does that anymore. But let's say you actually want to route this. Maybe you have a bus. Maybe you have like 5 instruments. So let's say like five of these instruments here. And you want to route them to one bus where you can actually just mix them all together. So that's easy, man. You just come here. Let's say this one here, and 2, 3, 4, 5. You want to, you made a bus here and you want to compress this. Or maybe just EQ this all together. So you just come here to 1. And you route it. It's easy, man. So you just route everything to that 15. Yeah. And that makes everything a whole lot easier for you. So let's say you wanna you have a piano, you have a flute, and let's say you have a guitar here, and say because everything there is just in stereo. You wanna compress everyone, so you just send it here to 15, and you do your you just do your thing. You just mix it right here, and it makes everything a whole lot easier, and it saves you a lot of CPU power. Because maybe if you're using a lot of plugins, man, you might start getting some underruns. And actually, let me just teach you a trick. If that ever happens, just come here when you're mixing. Just come here, change this to 24. I can see mine is already 24. And change this, since it's 96, change it to 24. Just change this to 24. Press yes. Yeah, it makes goes easy on the CPU. So you're actually able to mix without no interferences, without no underruns. Then once you're done, just come back here and put it back to 96. Yeah, 512. Yeah, you export. So yeah, that's easy, right? So the same here thing with the master here, stereo separation, mono. This is mono and this is stereo. Okay. All right. So then we have an EQ here. There's an EQ here. So if you want to EQ from here, you can just come here and EQ. Makes everything a whole lot easier. So yeah. Then right here is where you put your. This is a browser. This is where you put your instruments and your drum kit. So you have a drum kit. Let's say you have one of the Believers records, drum kit. I'm just assuming. Actually, get one of my. Just go ahead and get one of my. Just go ahead and get my kits. You should go check it out. I have a lot of kits that will actually help you, man. So let's say you want to put your kit. This is where you load it. This is where you put your stuff. So, and as I told you guys before, so you just load it, just come here, let's say you have a kit, you want to load it to the channel rack, just come here, add it to a new channel, okay, there, easy, it's hit. So yeah, that's easy, right? So I think I've kind of explained everything a little bit by now. So don't worry about these other things here. You might actually never get to use them. Like this one here, this is a break. It means stop. So let's say you're playing a mix like this. Let's go ahead and listen to, just trying to make this bit here. So just to show you guys as for demonstration purposes. So you want to press this, stops. The same thing as stopping here. There's no difference. So yeah. Then, as I told you guys, this is where you put your, your drums and shit. So maybe you guys can listen to this drum pattern that I just made here. So where is it? All right. So it's easy, right? So yeah. So and this is a piano roll. This is a piano roll. So this is where you make your instruments. Sorry, you make your melodies. So yeah. And let's say you actually have you have a build of you already have a melody, and let's say you want to send it to someone as a MIDI. So what you do is you just come here, file, you export as MIDI. Okay, just come here, name it, export it. Nice. So whoever is going to get this MIDI, maybe from somewhere else using the FL Studio, they just go in and they come here, file, import MIDI. Let's go ahead and get it, yeah, and import it. So yeah, this is actually very important for guys who are making kits. If you're looking forward to making kits, maybe MIDI kits, MIDI packs and all that, this will help you a lot. So let's get into this piano roll a little bit further. So there's a sixth here, there's a fourth, a third, and a half. So what do they mean? So you can actually come here, it's a sixth. It cuts this to like different parts. So say you want to actually make this melody, you want to make it a little bit unique, especially if you're doing like guitars and shit. You just come here and you cut it. Help you cut it. Okay. So yeah. So this is actually this is more important when you're actually dealing with things like guitars. Maybe you want to have that cut to make it sound a little bit unique. So you just do that. You just come to here, make a 6-step, maybe a half. Depends on what you want. Depends on what you want. Depends on what you're trying to make. So yeah, man. So yeah, that's it. So basically, I basically explained everything. And then down here we have the velocity. This is where you mess with the velocity. The velocity of the melodies, of the MIDIs. So you just come here. If you want to make this a little bit lower, you just come down here, take it down. Yeah. We'll change this here, panning. Yeah. Release. You get it. So yeah, man. So I actually explained everything. So let's say you wanna make a rap beat. What kind of what's the tempo for rap beat? It's usually maybe from around 70 all the way to like 150. Different genres have different BPMs. So lo-fi beats, hip hop, R&B, all that goes between 70 and all the way down to 150. So yeah, and then let's say you're trying to make let's say you're trying to make reggaeton. Reggaeton usually a lot of times usually go around between 90 and maybe 110. And that reggaeton on piano, same thing, from 90 all the way to on a piano, it goes a little bit faster. So you can actually go all the way to 120, I think. Yeah. And then yeah, that's it, man. So yeah. So let's say you've actually done everything. You've mixed your project and you want to export it. How do you do that? You come here to File, Export. You want to export. There's different formats for that. There's in waveform. I recommend that you export in waveform, not MP3. Waveform is more quality, but you can also do this in MP3. The rest don't matter. So yeah. So that's it, man. So yeah. So go ahead and make. Since I've actually told you everything, I've told you the sauce behind, FL Studio. You might as well just go ahead and make some sauce, make some crazy shit. I want to hear what you guys have learned in this. And actually, this one thing that I never told you guys is these things here. You just come here. This takes you to other playlists where you actually arrange your beat, and you can actually go ahead and name this. You can name this here. You can name it whatever you want. So let's say you have maybe this is this number one track here. Maybe you want to have your pianos there. Just go ahead and name it piano. Okay. Maybe let's say you want to have your pads here. So you just name it pad. Okay. All right. So this is why you name it. You just keep going like that, and you can go as far as even changing the colors and shit. So just come here, change the color, accept it. All right. All right. Easy peasy. So what else? I think I've pretty much said everything. And then here on the master here, if you want to instead of coming here, sometimes if you just want to bring out your instruments, your plugins, just press onto this, get whatever plugin you're trying to get. Maybe there's another way of doing like this. Takes you to the others. You can see them like physically, like visual plugins themselves. So let's say you want to load up an EQ. So that's it. Yeah. And then let me just give you a brief tutorial about the EQ. So there's subs, there's bass, there's low mids, there's mids, there's high mids, and there's treble. So this is where your kick hits mostly. Your kicks. Not your kicks. Your bass. The lower subs. And here the bass from around 110 here. This is where your kick is, and the low mids. This is where you have your highs. Your highs around here from the mids, the high mids, the presence, and treble, going all the way like that. So yeah, that's it, man. So yeah, man, I hope that you actually learned something in this tutorial, and I hope this actually helps you a lot. Yeah, that's it, man. So yeah, make crazy banging beats with this, since I've already taught you some of the sauce. Enjoy yourself and have a good one. Goodbye, stay safe, namaste.